In our methodology, the fundamentals of peer coaching are basically a group of 4 to 6 participants, managers, usually from the same organization, getting together for anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes to share stories on what they do on a day-to-day basis as managers in their organization, and do this in light of conceptual ideas giving them a language within which to share their experiences and a context so that they can make sense of how their experiences fit within the bigger picture. This process typically occurs once a week or once every second week or even once a month, always with the same group of participants, and over time the trust and the honesty builds within the group so that the discussions that they have start off with a simple sharing and end off with a dialogue and a coaching type interaction between one another so that they help each other become better at their practice of management.
Yeah, I want to make a distinction between leader development and leadership development. On leader development, participating in coaching ourselves and peer coaching process develops the capacity to listen and also the capacity to expand your own understanding of the situation you're in. Because it's a remarkable fact that many of us speak a lot internally to ourselves, but when we externalize that and speak it to others, new things come to light. It becomes obvious and clear, and then they become things to work on, things about our behavior or our actions, but also our understanding and insight. So that's important for leader development. For leadership, for developing the capacity of an organization to be led, for people to participate and make the most of the leaders they have, where you have middle managers and even senior managers taking part in peer coaching. This enables them to see many parts of the whole process that they're caught up in and to share their experience. Always, of course, each person's experience is just a part of what's happening, and by sharing together they get a much more systemic understanding and cease to carry the burdens. It's hard work managing, and managers are often tired and lonely and confused about where the solution will come from. And in peer coaching, these burdens become shared, and actually quite often the solutions emerge in those, and then they're more capable to participate in leadership. So I think peer coaching helps leader development and leadership development.
Look at the peer coaching exercise, this idea of getting groups of managers together for 60 to 90 minutes, doing that once, let's say, every second week. Inside of this process, you start to get that small little community of practice, you get trust building up, you get honesty building up, you get a shared language, and then folks, certainly they're starting to care with one another more than they had in the past. So at the beginning, I might look at you as the person that's in charge of QA, and you look at me as the person in charge of marketing. After a couple of sessions, well, you're Sarah and I'm Phil, and we're just human beings doing the best we can to work together to produce the products and services that this organization is tasked with building. So that starts to build within each one of these groups, and that starts to spread as other groups pick up the same process. And in a bigger picture, what you see is folks start to care about one another more, they care about their organization, and that sense of community comes from this caring for one another and working together as human beings rather than as resources to produce the products and services for the clients. I'd say, largely speaking, and perhaps it's been said many times, the demands placed on organizations are far more complex and far more sophisticated than they were in the past. Most modern organizations live in a very complicated world, from globalization, from ever-changing consumer demands, and this ability to change, to react, to adapt requires a flexible and agile organization, and that does not work if we still have the classic command and control type hierarchy that perhaps in the past worked so well. So this sense of community, this sense of folks working together to do what needs to be done to get the job done in a flexible and adaptable way, this sense of community responds to that need so that organizations can work better in this environment.
Mm-hmm. And also, performance in an organization is not really just a matter of the sum of the individual talents. It's when the talents join together and discover new opportunities to do things, and out of people talking to each other, collaborating, working together, is where solutions come from and new ideas come from. And this is a brilliant way of doing that.